Hear anything?
Just the machines.
Welcome to the funniest show in the world, more specifically on Amazon Live. With loads of crafts and cooking, you can follow along. The Fresh and Felicia Show. This is the Fresh and Felicia Show.
Nice song. Welcome to the family unit.
I'm going to fend you off with this.
Today we're talking about laser cutting. Wow, wow, wow. You can bang stuff.
No, you really startled me.
Hello. Welcome to the family unit here on YouTube. Today we're talking about laser cutters and engravers. Very exciting to talk about this stuff. Can you hear us? Am I in camera?
Hello. Welcome to.
We have no producers here, so we're just kind of winging it. Let me move this over a little smidge. There we go. Look at that. Trying a whole new setup in our new laser room.
Our new laser room.
How exciting is this? You're the first people to ever see this.
Right. Evans is already here.
Evans, what's up? Thanks for joining us again. Evans is awesome.
Awesome.
Hopefully it's warm. It was 60 degrees here in Florida today. Hopefully it's warm in Michigan.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but it's probably warmer in Michigan than it is here. Anywho, we've got two beautiful laser engravers and cutters we're going to talk about today. And we're going to tell you all about this stuff, all about the different kind of laser engravers and cutters you can purchase all the way through CO2. And
Right.
The ones that we have are amazing diode lasers, which were sent to us by these two great companies, We Create. Thank you to our friends at We Create. And also xTool. The xTool M1, We Create Vision.
That's right.
So we're going to actually demo and make a couple of things. What do you want to make today, Felicia?
Let's make a tumbler. Let's engrave a tumbler.
Ah.
And let's make a sign. And
Okay.
let's cut cardstock. Let's cut cardstock with a laser.
You can cut cards now? Won't
Let's
that
do it.
start a fire?
It will not start a fire.
Look,
But if it does, what?
I'm ready for it. I
You're
have
ready.
some fire extinguishing. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Some kind of fire extinguishing stuff. Is it foam? Is it CO2? I don't know what it is, but if there's a fire, I'm spraying it, okay? I can't read that close. So anywho, let's start on this journey. We have a little video to show you. And we'll tell you all about the different kinds of lasers that you can purchase, what they do, how they're different. We're using something called diode lasers, and we'll explain all that to you in a second. But let's start with engraving a tumbler, and that's going to take a little bit of time.
And that's why we're starting there.
So let's start with that first. So you've seen tumblers, right? You've seen these beautiful tumblers everybody has, the Yetis, the Stanleys. Well, now you can make your own, saying whatever you want. Hold that for a second.
Okay.
Where's my manly tumbler? Is that in here?
That's in there.
This is my favorite thing. So I did a takeoff on Stanley because I didn't want to spend $80 on a tumbler. So I made my own. It's called the Manly Tumbler. And you can buy these on Etsy. Can you buy these on Etsy?
Your manly tumbler?
Manly. So I didn't want to violate any trademarks or copyrights and get sued and lose my teeth, you know? So I made this thing. I also did a couple plays. I did a little Stally. I like that. Oh, wait, hold on. Just trying to focus on your eyes, Felicia. And Simbly, like Simba and Stanley. You see what I'm saying there? And Manly's my favorite. So it's just a regular old stainless steel tumbler, but imagine having the power to put whatever you want on these things. How cool is that? We're going to do that today on this tumbler. This is a powder coated?
This is a powder coated tumbler we got straight off Amazon, nothing special. And you're going to show first.
Wait a minute. This is Make and Sip number 5.
Does everybody have a beverage?
You're welcome. What are you drinking today?
Flavored water.
I'm drinking red water. Is this Chateau du Michel?
We have.
What is this here? Who's here?
Sorry.
J.K. Suing Jamila. Am I saying your name right? Is it Jamila or Jamila? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm an idiot. Just call us. Call us. We'll talk. We'll put you on the air too. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Evans and Jamila for here, and everybody else
It
who's out
wouldn't be
there.
the first time we put a caller in on the air.
We actually
We
put
have Stay-at-home mom.
That's right. Stay-at-home mom
That's
was live on our Amazon
right.
Live. So yeah,
That's right. So we've done it. Not afraid to
we
do
should probably
that
have
show.
Evans on.
We should probably
should.
have Evans on.
Evans, let's talk about that. And the next week we'll have you live to call in right here.
It says
from
it's
Pennsylvania.
41 degrees there.
41. Oh, I could use it because I'm sweating here.
74 here.
What is it now?
And we're in hoodies and
No,
sweaters.
it's hot. It's so hot in
74.
here. I have to take my shoes off. I'm gonna take my Crocs off. Is it cool to wear Crocs? I don't know. Where's the camera? Where am I looking?
Straight
I
ahead.
don't even know what's going on here. Okay, so make and sip number 5.
That's right.
Obviously, I've already been sipping. Felicia sips all day. So that is the state of things happening here. So you should probably never play with laser. We're just kidding. I just had a sip of my wine here. You really don't want to be under the influence because these can be dangerous tools.
It absolutely can.
There's a lot of things you need to consider. You need to consider the laser itself could start a fire, so you need to be ready to attack that. There is ventilation. You could fill up your whole room with smoke and set off your smoke detectors.
Right.
And actually, it could cause some breathing problems. So ventilation is very important. We'll talk about that in our video.
So that's part of the reason why we made this room.
Yeah.
This is our laser room, right?
That's all we do here.
It's outside the craft room,
That's not
the craft
true,
studio that we
because
have.
you're going to do what, acrylic, or what is that stuff
We're
you
going
put
to
on?
do acrylic or epoxy
Epoxy.
in here as well.
And you need a good ventilation
Yeah.
for that.
We do.
There's actually an outside door over here. Maybe we'll take people on a tour a little bit later.
Yeah,
So
let's
it's
do that.
not a
But
big room. It's actually our 3rd garage. Here in Florida, we have something called golf cart garages.
That's right. And we don't have a golf cart.
We don't have a
Nor do we
never
want
gonna get a
one.
golf cart. So anywho, we turned our golf cart garage into the laser room.
That's right.
It's got outside ventilation.
It does.
Through our friends at American Veterans Contracting.
Yep.
So they set this whole room up. They put
Yep.
some walls up and put a really cool ventilation system.
They did. They did.
So without further ado,
Adieu.
oh wait, with further ado, it's a French word.
What's that?
Adieu.
Adieu.
Let us know if you have any questions about these laser engravers. And we do have links in our description where you can buy those using our affiliate links. So support this channel so we can keep doing these make and sips
That's
or
right.
all our other YouTube videos
That's right.
and showing and sharing all these really cool crafts with you. This is really neat stuff.
And jump in the chat. We're happy to stop and talk to people.
We'll answer any
We love
questions that if we don't have the answers, we will look them up and get back to
We
you
will.
later.
Absolutely.
We got to disclaim, are we experts in laser engraving and cutting?
We are not experts in laser engraving cutting.
We're
Not at
Pretty much
all.
beginners.
We are. We are.
We have maybe a total of 6 months, and we have another laser engraver somebody sent us a while ago. I didn't know what to do with it. That used a different piece of software. It was really, I actually did something really cool with it, but we just started getting into it. I'd say maybe January.
Yeah.
So maybe
it was
2 or 3
definitely
months where we really started hitting.
Yeah.
So we're beginners. We're right where you are if you've never used one of these before. So this is really good information for you. All right, so we're moving from crickets to these things because they're dimensional.
They are.
We can do things like these signs back here. Can you see these? I think you can. And I'll show you a little bit later some of the stuff that Felicia's already done. Some paper cardstock cutting, and it's amazing the dimensionality.
It is.
Really?
It is. It really takes it next level.
And the tumblers are really cool because these are the hottest thing in the world right now. You can see I've been doing some testing here. I got to hide Felicia's eyes. All right, there we go. So you can see I've done some stuff here. And it's really important that you do a lot of testing with these machines to figure out exactly the settings that you want to use so that your projects come out the way that you want them to. All right, so let's put a tumbler in there and see what we can do. And again, I'm kind of new at this. I've done most of my successful laser engraving on tumblers in the WeCreate Vision.
Yes.
I personally think that this is set up smarter because it's a fixed place you have to actually plug this thing into.
That is true. That is
But xTool sells the rotary attachment, which is very cool, and I was able to do all this stuff with xTool as well. So let's jump into xTool because it's harder. It's a challenge. So we'll start that first, kick into our video, and then we'll talk about cutting some wood,
Okay.
which is the power of this thing.
Show us what you got.
So let's do this so I can shut up and get off camera so people can see you because you're much cuter than I am. All right, so I've got a fresh, this is a powder coated tumbler. Yeah?
Yes, it is.
What is powder coat? I have no idea. It's some kind of chemical and you don't want to breathe it when you burn it. So let's see if we can bring the camera over here. I'm going to remove my tether. This is the first test of our new camera system. Ready? This is so exciting. I'm going to go over this. Look at that.
Woo.
You see what's happening here?
Woo.
Look at that.
Smooth.
You like that? So inside, I'm going to use the xTool M1 for this. You may not be able to see everything. I could lift it up a little bit more. You hear that noise. There's something called air assist. What is air assist? Can you answer that?
That is really your arena.
Air assist is like a little fan that blows down. This is the laser head here. So you're not supposed to move this. Actually, it's locked in here. So the laser head has a little pump underneath, like a fish tank, aquarium pump. And it blows air down to try to make your cuts neater. Kind of gets the debris away, which ends up in a better not better engraving, we learned, but better cuts. So I'm going to put that on because actually in engraving tumblers, it actually helps a little, take some of the smudge away. Yeah. All right, so you see this is the RA2 assembly, I think it's called. Let me see if I can come up and show this to you a little bit better. Stand by. Again, we've never done this before. This is our first laser room foray. Bring that up here. All right, can you see that at home? Can you see that, Felicia?
Yes.
Pretty well?
That's pretty,
it's kind of hard to see.
That's actually really good.
Let me move it up a little bit here.
That's perfect.
This is the RA2. So you see it's got these little things on it, and this is your chuck. Imagine having the name Chuck. Is a terrible name. And these little doodads you can take off. It also comes with little arms. So if you want to do wine glasses, if you want to do something else that doesn't fit within the parameters of that chuck, you can use these little metal things. There's a roller too, which is real. There's all kinds of attachments that come with this thing. This does not ship with the xTool M1. It's an additional purchase unless you buy a kit. And these are these little pegs, and you can use these to hold wine glasses or whatnot on the outside. All right, enough of that fun. So let's actually put this tumbler inside, and I'm going to, you just attach it like this. Now there are size limitations in these machines, which is one of the reasons we are looking to upgrade to a CO2. Let me come around here so my arms aren't blocking it. Everybody yells at me, your arms are blocking everything. You want to see what's going on. So I'm going to take the chuck here. I'm going to actually open this up. I'm going to drop it. And what this is going to do is secure this tumbler in place. And I'm going to make it, oh, going the wrong way. I got to make it a little wider. And these little rubber handles inside are going to hold this in place. Because what happens is the computer is going to control, the software is going to control the spin of this thing, and it's going to spin it perfectly. Oops, I think I went in too far. And right about there, I think I want to be. Let's spin it this way and tighten that up. Can you still see the light one? I said, okay, man, you're taking too long. You take this chuck assembly, and is my head in the way?
No, you're good. Really good. No, it's a really
no
good
idea what you're seeing there. Ah, it keeps falling off.
It's not bad.
It's okay. All right, that should be pretty tight. Oh, it's coming off here. Hang on. I just had this in here. All right, let me take this out and redo this. All right, let's do it this way. There's a little trick to this. So again, I'm not an expert at this. We kind of feel it as we go. And you can see this thing here is spinning. And there is a little cable that connects this to the xTool M1, which controls the spin. So I'm going to move this over here. And then it's going to tell you, now I need to go to the software. This is going to be an awkward switch. Are you guys ready for this? Do I have to move the whole thing? All right, I'm going to share my screen. It's going to look really weird for a second until I can bebop over to where I need to be in the xTool. This is the xTool Creative Space software. Can you see that?
Yes.
And what it's going to do is show me a preview. There's actually a camera built into this machine that shows me in real time what's on the, is it called a platter? I don't know what this thing is called. On the plane, maybe? I don't know. Anywho, it's showing what's inside the X. So what is this thing called? You never heard of it?
No,
you don't know?
No.
Platter, plane, all right, whatever. On the thing.
On the thing. On the thingamabob.
on the thingamabob.
Yeah.
So now it's showing me my tumbler. And it's going to tell me to ensure the red spot falls at the highest point of the cylinder. Now you can see that this is not a perfect cylinder. It actually angles down. It slopes down. So not the best case scenario, but still workable. You can see there's a little red dot. Can you see that now? Can you see that red dot? Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to my thing.
Yeah, you got to switch.
Stand by. I need a producer. Let me turn this off. All right. Oh, no, you can't see that.
Yeah.
So anyhow, there's a red dot.
It's on your finger.
Is it a red dot there?
Yeah,
See
right
the
there.
red dot?
Yep,
That's actually on the highest point of the cylinder. Let me go back to my xTool software. All right, so it's the highest point. Take my word for it. I'm going to move it around a little bit, right about there. Now, this is probably the biggest tumbler you could put in here. I think it's like a 32 ounce. It's pretty big. You got to be really thirsty to drink everything in there. All right, so I've got that ready to go. Now, I need to tell xTool Creative Space what I want to put on this tumbler. What do I want to put on this tumbler?
I don't
What
know.
would you put on here?
What did you have in mind?
I can put shapes. I can put logos. Let's do something simple.
I would say something simple. You have our logo?
I do, but I don't know. It's going to take forever to
It
do
would
that.
take a long time.
Let's do words, like a word or something. What would you say? Maybe
Do fresh.
family unit, fresh,
Fresh.
5 letters.
There you go. Something that says it won't take quite as long.
Let's do fresh. I would do fresh and Felicia, but it's going to take too long. You want me to do that? What do you want me to do?
Just do fresh.
Let's do fresh. I'm
Let's
going to
do
make it a
fresh.
little smaller because I want it to be subtle. All right. And I can turn this around. It's kind of hard to see.
And why are you turning it around?
Because you see the top of the tumbler is here. So I want this. Whoa, where'd it go? Oh, God. Oh, I can curve it too. Look at that. Okay, I didn't want to do that. Turn it around, tumbler that way. And I can also change it manually up here. So I'm going to put this right about here. Now this green line is the left. That's where it's going to begin. So I'm
That's
just
pretty small. You don't want to make it a little bit bigger?
throw it right here. A little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger, maybe?
I can do it. Now I can resize it here. It's telling me it's 1.169 inches, so I can
That's
make it on
pretty
like 2.
There you go. That's better. That's much
Oh
better.
God, what did I just do? I'm clicking here. It's because I'm trying to do this at the same time where I'm streaming this. Does that look good?
That looks good.
See, the bigger it is, the longer it's going to take. I'm just telling you. So we'll go ahead and get this started now. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the distance here. Now, a distance is going to tell me it can't measure the distance, so I have to do something manually. Oh, God, did it measure the distance? It measured it that time? All right, let me move that over. All right, so this is a little tricky. So what it does is measures the distance from the laser head to the actual item that you're going to engrave or cut.
In all honesty, this is the most complicated thing you do with the machine.
It is a little
It is
complicated,
the most
right?
complicated thing, yes.
So it looks pretty straight. It's upside down because I know the top of my tumbler is this way. And if I make a tumbler with upside down words, people are going to be like, dude, what you do, man? All right, so laser cylindrical. There's a whole bunch of settings here. I've already done this. I know it's laser cylindrical, which is what you use when you use the RA2 assembly.
Correct.
For the rotation.
Correct.
It's going to talk to the software. It's going to talk to the machine and know exactly where to put it. Distance is there. I've already measured the diameter of the top. Now you can measure it 2 ways. You can measure the perimeter of the outside or the diameter in inches or millimeters of the opening. I've already measured that. If you fill in one, you don't have to fill in the other. Okay, so let's rock and roll there. I'm going to go ahead and frame it. And you probably can't see this. And what framing does, which is really cool, is it draws a little line here. Let me get out of this software so I can show you what I'm seeing here. And I don't know if you can see, all you see is our blue light here. So what framing does, it actually draws a box around where it's going to put this image. Oh man, that doesn't look right. All right, I'm going to correct that. I'm going to move that over a little bit. That didn't look right. I'm going to go back and check this out.
I couldn't see too much.
I know,
lights,
it looked a little off.
Yeah, something was.
Yeah, something was a little weird. So I'm going to look at my dot again here, make sure that is in the right place. So framing, this is why framing is so important. And
And again, framing is just outlining on the object where it's going to.
I refreshed and it moved.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened there. So it wasn't. That's why framing is what?
Framing is so important. It gives you, it's not that it's necessarily important, but it gives you a visual of where the laser is going to do its work.
Exactly.
So gives you that preview, so to speak, so you make sure you have your stuff, whether it's wood or tumblers or acrylic, in the right spot.
Oh God. All right, so I'm going to try to frame again. And I'm going to make sure that the laser is going exactly. Oh, did that already. Okay, I'm going to frame. Uh-oh, element is placed out of the processing area. All right, again, we're fairly new at this, so we're seeing some weird stuff going on here. Image capture, got it. Image placed out of the processing area. Let me move this over a little bit. So I have my red dot at the top, at the highest place here. All right, I'm going to move this down. I'm going to try to hit that again. I'm going to refresh my image. I have laser cylindrical. That looks about right. I have my words upside down. And I want to score or engrave. I think I want to engrave. All right, I should show the software again here. Actually, let me make sure it's going to work. Let me frame it. Hit the frame. There's my frame. My frame is working now. There, that's perfect. That's exactly where I want it to be. It's showing me exactly, and you can't see this, but it's actually rotating the tumbler inside the machine. Now, this is a safety feature of this guy. It's got this lid on it, and there's a switch. If this lid is lifted up, it won't do anything. So that is a good thing. I know, okay. All right, so should I show the software again?
Yeah.
Let's show the software one more time so you can see what I'm seeing here. All right.
There we go.
I'm going to, now here's the settings we're talking about. You click on this guy, and I said on engrave. Now on my old tumbler, I found something that really worked nice. It's actually power 50, so I'm going to change that. There are no predetermined settings for these because there's so many variations. And speed, I'm going to do 10. And that works out really nice with one pass. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and process. And it's showing me what I've got going on here. I'm going to hit start.
You ready?
And then I can go back over to my laser. Hold on, let me pull out so I can show everyone at home what we're doing here. And you have to hit that button. It's a two-step deal. You have to hit that power button, then it starts. Go ahead. Nothing happens until you hit that power button. Let's come back over here and try to get as close as I can.
I can see it. The
To
lights
the
are a little bit in the
process.
way, but not bad. There we go.
It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to try to move the camera over. This will be a little bumpy, forgive me.
Oh,
all right, can
there
you
we
see
go.
what's going on here?
There we go.
It's hard to see.
Wait, you're moving?
How's that?
That's good.
So actually under that dark head here, there's a laser engraving something into this. I could put the camera in there, but I can't get it in. Now, you don't want to put anything in there. Obviously, you don't want to put your arms or anything in there because it would actually engrave something in your arm, which could be incredibly painful. So right now, it's starting to engrave that design that I had in the software. It's going to take a while because the speed is kind of slow. We'll talk about the relationship between speed and power in a laser engraver in just a few minutes. It's actually an important mathematical thing, and you can change one and change the other. And there is a little bit of experimentation required to figure out exactly what the best speed and the best power is for these machines. All right, let's bring this back here now. All right, that's going to take a little while, so we're going to let that do its thing. And in the meantime, do you want to talk about what you're going to work on?
Let's talk about what we're going to work on over here.
Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to make a
And
sign.
before we do this, we're going to jump over and show you all about laser engraving, everything you need to know. Well, tell us what you're going to do first.
We are going to make a sign on this piece of wood.
Yeah.
And it's going to say, hello, summer.
Kitty.
Hello, summer, right? Because we're getting closer. And it's going to be made with popsicle sticks.
Okay.
And we're going to use We Create's UV printed wood, colored wood, to make this sign.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
What do you want?
Let's catch up on our chat. Any shout outs? Anybody going on here?
I'm keeping up with Jamila.
Is it Jamila?
Yeah.
Did we find out that's how we say it?
Evans. Yes, how she
You're
put it
saying
in the
my
chat.
right, Jamila. Ha ha ha. Awesome. I love joining in. I set an alarm on my phone so I don't miss you. We appreciate you. You're a rock star. And let us know if you have any questions. I want to save up to get a mug press. Crafting is my only pleasure. I'm disabled. Oh, don't get out much. That's terrible. Yeah, we can't wait to see it either. The sign's going to be beautiful as well. So let's show you a little video we did about everything you need to know about laser cutters
Let's
and
start
engravers.
there. Good idea. The laser cutters and engravers are the hottest new craft hobby machines. You've probably seen the ads on social media showing the amazing things we're making using laser light to cut and engrave things like wood, acrylic, glass, and even metal.
What's really cool about these devices is you can create things with dimensionality. Think signs with multiple levels and lights behind them. Tumblers with permanently etched personalization that won't crack or peel off. Infinitely small cardstock with precision you just can't get with a blade. Personalized bracelets and rings. It's really endless.
That's right. Our friends at We Create and xTool have sent us 2 enclosed laser cutting and engraving machines to review, and we'll demonstrate some of the things these amazing machines can do.
The xTool M1 is a groundbreaking Class 4/Class 1 laser cutting and engraving device that combines a 10-watt blue diode laser with a special built-in rotary blade. If you're into cutting vinyl and fabrics and don't want to lose those capabilities, the xTool M1 is an awesome choice.
We Create makes a Class 1 laser cutter and engraver called We Create Vision. This doubles the diode laser to 20 watts, which enables you to cut and engrave a little faster. There is no blade in the We Create Vision, so it will not cut vinyl, but We Create's Vision does include an automatic riser platform and some other accessories that cost extra with other laser engraving tools.
These laser beams are tiny. The accuracy is incredible. You can cut paper and thin cardstock to an amazing level of detail that most blade cutters, like a Cricut Maker, can't even come close to. Blades tend to rip tiny cuts, while lasers cut them perfectly. Let's see what We Create's Vision could do with these tiny butterfly wings. Amazing, right?
Both the xTool M1 and We Create's Vision use diode lasers. Diode lasers can cut and engrave wood and some other materials. Diode lasers have a longer lifespan and are much more affordable than other types of lasers.
It's important to know that diode lasers cannot cut or engrave transparent things like acrylic. However, with a little finagling, they can engrave glass. Diode lasers max out at about 40 watts. But there is some new tech in the pipeline that can combine multiple diode lasers for a little more power.
There are other kinds of diode lasers, even one with an invisible beam called an infrared laser. IR lasers can engrave, but not cut, just about any kind of metal, among other things. IR lasers are great for personalizing things like jewelry, tools, pocket knives, or even silverware.
Weird, right? The next step up from diode lasers is CO2 lasers, using a stream of carbon dioxide gas stored in replaceable cylinders. CO2 lasers are more powerful and can easily cut and engrave a broader range of materials, including thicker wood, clear acrylic, brick, ceramics, and even bone. CO2 lasers are more expensive to buy and maintain than diode lasers.
Next up are fiber lasers. These are used exclusively to cut and engrave metal. Fiber lasers cannot cut wood.
Now, laser light burns through the surface of whatever you're cutting or engraving. Engraving just burns into the wood, but not all the way through. Now, when you burn things, it creates smoke and fumes, some of which can be toxic and dangerous to breathe.
With any laser cutter and engraver, you're going to need ventilation. If putting an exhaust hose outdoors or in a window isn't an option in the area where you plan to use your laser cutter, there are indoor filtration systems that can pull the smoke and fumes out of the machines and catch it in special filters.
And yes, when you burn things, there's always the risk of fire that's burning. Fortunately, laser fires are rare and usually caused by people leaving scraps in their machines. We keep our machines pretty clean, and we do keep a small little fire extinguisher can nearby just in case. I can honestly admit that over the past 6 months of doing this, we've never created a fire with any of our laser engraving machines.
Now there is a learning curve with these laser machines. Since each material is different, and what you want to achieve with these cuts and engravings will change over time as you develop your skills. You'll need to figure out 2 critical values for each material you use: power and time.
Power is the amount of laser power you want to use, which can be set from 1% through full power at 100%. The time setting is how slow or fast you want your laser engraver to move. The slower the movement, the more the laser will burn in the same spot. It makes a darker burn. You'll need to experiment with different materials and determine the look that you want to achieve on your product.
We'll do something called a matrix in one of our machines using the material we want to laser cut or engrave to demonstrate the relationship between power and speed when engraving or cutting.
As you can see, the variations in power and speed produce very different results. Some of these squares are burned completely through. You don't have to use squares. You can test a matrix using any shape or letter or number you want to see, just how it would engrave on whatever you're engraving in your current conditions.
That's right. It's important to stay in the room while the laser does its things, just in case something catches on fire, so you can shut it down and extinguish it quickly. While it's not safe to look directly at a laser while it's cutting, the orange tinted safety lids both these machines feature will protect your eyes, so you can safely watch it do its thing without protective goggles.
Both the xTool M1 and WeCreate Vision report they can cut wood up to a thickness of 7 to 8 millimeters, or about 1/4 of an inch. With diode lasers, I can tell you, cutting that maximum thickness would take a while and several passes. With these types of diode laser machines, we recommend working with 3 millimeter wood, or about 1/8 of an inch, for best results.
That's right. Both the xTool and the WeCreate offer a rotary accessory for engraving round things like baseballs, small cylinder wood objects, stainless steel jewelry, and metal tumblers, for example. The rotary tool plugs directly into the machine, and the software automatically controls the rotation speed to position the item exactly where the laser needs to be.
A lot of people ask us, are laser engraving machines hard to use? Like with any crafting machine, there is a slight learning curve.
Sure.
But both WeCreate and xTool have excellent software programs that are intuitive and fairly easy to use. If you've ever used any vinyl cutting software from Cricut, Silhouette, or any popular vinyl cutter, you'll see a lot of similarities.
In the software, you will find vast libraries of sample projects you can use to experiment with, or modify them and make them your own.
There are more complex programs like Lightburn and Laser Gerbil, GRBL. I think it's gerbil, used with some other brands of laser cutters and engravers. But wait for those until you're ready for the big time.
These dimensional creations make incredible gifts or products you can sell online or at local craft fairs. Check out some of the stuff we made with our xTool M1 and WeCreate Vision here on this channel.
We've been so impressed with what these laser machines can do, we hardly use our Cricut machines anymore. We've even converted part of our garage into what we're calling the laser room. We're in the process of adding a CO2 laser as well. These are a lot more complicated, but don't worry, we'll cover all our CO2 research here on this channel so we can all learn together.
If you decide to pick up your own xTool M1 or WeCreate Vision, please use the affiliate links in the description of this video to help support our channel, so we can continue to bring you great videos like this. Thanks for your support.
Now let's go burn some stuff.
Hold on. Maybe I can help. This is Make and Sip number 5 with Fresh and Felicia, the family unit, crafting fun with the family unit.
That's right. That's right.
And we're working on a couple laser engraving projects using the xTool M1, an amazing machine we just talked about, and the WeCreate Vision. And it's time for a sip break. This is Make and Sip number 5.
Thank you.
So take a sip of your favorite beverage. We don't judge. What is this? What wine did you buy for me?
It's a Pinot Noir.
A Pinot Noir?
Noir.
A Pinot Noir, yes, a little red. Maybe you have a little white in the afternoon, a little red. All right. Make and Sip number 5. Thanks again for joining us. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button so you can see all this crazy stuff we do here.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us. All right, so our tumbler is still engraving. It looks like it's almost done. For another couple of minutes. It actually tells me.
Two letters to go.
I can't look at my thing because our stream is running from there, but We're going to work on another project.
We
What do you
are.
want to work on?
So let's start our sign,
Go ahead.
right? Our hello summer sign with hello in a cursive font that we're going to put. And then the summer will be on popsicle sticks. All right, so let's first, I'm going to show you how easy the software is to do this kind of a thing. It's a little complex when you're working with tumblers, at least I feel that way. But doing the wood stuff is, to me, super easy, and the software is easy to use.
Shout out to K Wood in the house. Yo, K Wood!
So I'm going to...
It's almost time to go to Fiesta Azteca.
share
the
my
best
screen.
Restaurant,
Hopefully-
Mexican restaurant.
Hopefully you can see my
Brevard.
screen.
I'm trying to plug something here,
I
and you're
know
trying to
you
work.
are.
I don't know what you're doing
I
here.
know.
I
So
see no screen. Let me turn you on. Ready?
Turn me on.
Boom. There's
Okay,
Felicia's
there's
screen.
my screen. So this is WeCreate's Make It software. All right, it's not overly complicated to use. Some of the similar settings that people would see in, say, Cricut's Design Space software. And I've already got my hello styled the way I want. And all I did was to do this. WeCreate software doesn't have a weld option in it. For those who are familiar with Cricut,
It doesn't?
that merges the letters together seamlessly without any cut lines. So you don't see any cut lines here in the middle
That's weird.
of the letters. It's all one big flowing thing. So I actually use the software called SureCuts-A-Lot to create this. And I
It's not in
uploaded.
here. Maybe it's called something else.
Yeah,
It's really not here.
It is really not here. I tried several ways to send it and I could not do it. And I decided it wasn't worth any more effort. So basically I went to SureCuts-A-Lot and I created an SVG file in that software. How cool is that? Create your own SVGs in there and export them out. And this is what it is.
Wait, what is that software you used?
SureCuts-A-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot?
No, not Sir Mix.
Oh, we talked about Sure Cuts a lot last week.
We did.
Will there be a link to that in the demo?
Yes,
In the,
everything will be linked
description?
afterwards when we finish.
Beautiful.
All right. So here it is. So that's really all I did was I imported this in and sized it to the way I wanted it. And I'm going to actually send this over to be cut on the WeCreate machine. So here it is. This one is probably the right size for me. I've got it selected, right? And over here on the right, you can see I have cut selected. And when I click off of it, you see here's a material setting. And these are all the different types of materials that you can cut on the WeCreate. And I've selected wood and then basswood and 3mm and confirm. All right, so then when I go to cut, it's pulled in the default settings for that wood, already set the power and the speed and the number of passes for me. So I don't know, Fresh, you want to show me loading the wood into the machine?
Yeah, let's take that screen off and let's show you loading the wood into the machine. You're going into the xTool M1.
No, I'm going into the WeCreate.
The WeCreate
WeCreate
Vision. Oh,
Vision.
let me back up a little bit. All right, there we go.
All right, so I'm just going to open the lid and put my wood inside. Nothing special there. Okay, and I'm just going to close it. Now this machine has a built-in riser. Okay, xTool doesn't have that. They have a honeycomb riser. It's stationary. But this one will actually, I'm going to go in the software and click on refresh. I'm going to share my screen again. Do you need to do
Okay.
something when I do
Yeah.
that? All right. I'm still sharing.
1 second. Go ahead.
All right, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the software, I'm going to click on refresh. Right now you can see I've got just what looks like a canvas behind me. And when I click on refresh, it uses the camera on the machine to give me an illustration of the material that's in the machine.
Shut the
So I
front
can
door.
actually see
We're actually seeing what's going on
I
there.
can actually see what's in there, and then I can size this. Oops. I'm going to hold the shift key down and size this down just a little bit.
No mouse, huh?
No
There's
mouse.
no
It's a
mouse.
little cool.
No mice.
No
No mice in the laser room yet.
No mice in the laser room yet. So it's a little bit tricky.
And you can set the size to basically whatever you want.
That's right. You can set the size to whatever you want. Okay, so now I have a visual of what that looks like. In order to actually do the cut process, I have to click on autofocus. And when I'm going to do that, but he's going to show the machine as I want to show the rising, automatic rising.
All right. And the machine is in view.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on autofocus in the software. And now you can see that laser head is moving inside and it's measuring to make sure.
Oh, look, it's moving down. Actually, the machine is actually moving down by itself. That's amazing. What an innovation there.
Right?
Some genius
so it's going
engineering.
to set it exactly the height that it needs to be able to do this cut.
Okay.
All right. So once it's done refreshing in the software,
Do you want me to go back to software?
if you'd like.
Let's show the people at home what you're looking at.
All right. So
Okay.
you sharing my screen again? All right. So it's finished autofocusing, and I've got all my parameters set the way I want for cutting, because this is just a cut. We're going to do an engrave in a minute. So I'm just going to click on Start. And it gives me a preview here. This is the item that it's actually going to cut, and it tells me how much time it's going to take to do that. So I'm going to click Send, and you're going to share the machine again. You got it? Are you sharing the machine? All right, I'm going to click the button on the front. Just
She
like
talks to me like I'm a 6-year-old. I love it.
Because I can't
It's so
see.
cute.
I can't see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click the button on the front.
How much sip have you had today?
And the laser. Can you show this?
I'm going to try.
Look at all the
Bunch of
smoke.
toes there.
Look at all the smoke. I don't know if you can see that.
See how tight I can get in
There
there.
you go. That's perfect.
Can you see the smoke at home?
I can see it on the screen here.
Hard to see it. So yeah, there is a proper ventilation system in this room. Otherwise, that smoke would be filling this room and our lungs, which is not a good thing.
That's right. And your tumbler is complete.
I know, I see. We're going to show that in a second. This is the actual laser head cutting and engraving this wonderful piece of, this is just, what kind of wood are you using here?
This is a 3mm basswood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the limit of what these machines, you can do 7 to 8 millimeter, but it's going to take all day.
Yeah.
This is a nice, fast, easy thing to do because it can handle 3mm basswood pretty easily.
That's right.
And you can see there is smoke here, so you're going to need some kind of ventilation. We talked about that in our video. Ventilation is very important.
Absolutely. You're going to give a tour of the room so you can show where it's ventilated.
Yeah. It's kind of neat to watch it. You can watch it, as we talk about, safely through this orange top. Now, if I lift the top up, it's going to stop. Should I do it? Should I lift the top up and stop it? Show people that this is a safety feature. You stop, it stops.
That's right.
Ooh, all smoke coming in. Put it back down.
And press the button,
And
and
then
it
it starts
continues
again.
right back up where it left off.
So that is a nice, and both of these machines, both the xTool M1 and the WeCreate Vision, offer that safety feature. Will the tumbler be hot now? Jamila asked. No. Hey, thank you for that. Yeah, making sure you hit that like and subscribe and share this with a bunch of people. I'm going to pull that tumbler out in a second, and you will see exactly what I see. And I'm looking at it right now, and it looks amazing.
And you will see that this machine is so precise. I mean, that tail on the O
It's thin.
is super, super thin and
If
fragile.
you touch that the wrong way, it will break.
It will break. Absolutely.
What's amazing is this knows exactly where to cut.
Right?
Yeah. What were you going to say?
You do have to be very careful when you pull this out of the machine. Because the tail is so frail and so thin, it could easily break off. So just be careful when you pull delicate things out.
If you were doing this for production or making something for Etsy or an art show, you could probably glue that tail back on, right?
You could, absolutely.
Put a little paint on top of it.
We're going to actually use some paint pens and paint it white.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
This is like a paint and sip, not just a make and sip.
That's right.
Exciting. This is the WeCreate Vision. Thank you to our friends at WeCreate for sending us this wonderful machine. They're coming out with an infrared laser module we talked about.
That is super exciting.
In April, and they're going to send that to us, and we're going to demonstrate that live here on this YouTube channel.
Super excited about that.
And our friends at xTool are talking about sending another machine as well.
Fantastic.
So that is exciting. We'll give you more information about that as soon as we know more. We're talking about laser engravers and cutting here on the Family Unit, Crafting Fun with Family Unit. My name is Fresh. We're here with the lovely and talented Felicia. We're looking at the WeCreate Vision, cutting out some wood, some 3mm basswood right now. Where do you get basswood?
You can get it off Amazon. You can get it on a whole wide variety of sites. You can get it on Chino.
It's rising. What's going on
Okay,
here?
so it's rising up.
Can I leave the camera here?
You can leave the camera here.
And we're going to see what happens when you pull it out.
All right, so it's done. The laser's back in its home position. So I'm just going to raise this up. And I'm going to carefully lift up my wood.
Nuh-uh.
So there's the cutout.
Actually, you could probably use that as a reverse.
You could, absolutely.
Look how thin that is. My goodness gracious. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see what we're looking at. Wow, look at that.
Look how thin. I mean, this is very frail.
That is
Very
incredibly
frail.
thin. That is amazing how tight these laser cutters can
easy,
get.
right?
There's really no other machine that can do this.
That's right.
Well, there's an engraver, I think, a CNC machine that can do this with wood, but this precision is amazing. It just blows me away.
Okay.
All right, you're going to put that over here.
I'm
I'm going to
gonna
take
put
a look at our tumbler. Let's come over here with my super duper amazing rig that we invented today. All right, it's hard to see that. I'm going to move this up a little bit. I'm going to show you me taking this off of the RA2 assembly. Again, this is an option. This is the xTool M1 machine. I'm going to take this off, try not to block your view. I'm going to go this way. I'll loosen it. Oops. So that I can remove this tumbler from the RA2 assembly, which held it in there nice and tight.
That looks great. You did a really good job
Pretty
coming up with
amazing,
the
right?
settings. Yes, absolutely.
All right, there it is. We have engraved powder coat on a tumbler. Now I could bring that down a little bit, and then you see this kind of slopes. It goes from wider to narrower, and that does present a problem with these machines. And you can work through it. You can do stuff further down. You can actually do stuff all the way around as well. But for the most part, you're going to do simple designs on this thing. But the beauty is this, is you can do whatever you want. So if you wanted to create your own, if you were having like a fundraiser, like American Veterans Contracting's doing, they want us to do some tumblers. They're actually going to drop golf balls from a helicopter into a tumbler with their logo on it. So there's so many things. It's really endless, the possibilities and creative options you have. But look at that. You can see the silver right through there. And this will not peel. It will not fade. You can wash this a bazillion times. Unlike vinyl, it's not going to crack or come off. This is permanently in. It actually cut through this paint. And it's a permanent part of it. I can't fix it if I want to.
There's no fixing that.
No, I can't paint it. I mean, I get powder. You get a powder coating machine. But look at that. Imagine when you put logos on these things. You put words. You could put, you can actually, I've seen some people with photographs on them. How cool is that for a little gift or a keepsake? But that's pretty neat that you can do this. And in this light, you can kind of see the reflection. But making your own tumbler, saying whatever you want them to say, really is some power. Here's another one we did. And this is our logo on a black tumbler. This is straight. It doesn't have that concave finish on it. And you can see here, you can actually do some fading on here. Look at that. There's gradients on here. It is monochrome, but still, nonetheless, you can see that there is some detail in here. If you look closely, you can see the gradient. And that is some serious power. And that's all done with either of these machines. These are diode lasers made by xTool, and we create. Very cool stuff.
Very cool, right?
All right, so you have your hello ready to go.
I have my hello ready to go. And I want to point out that what we're going to do next is we're going to use, this is We Create's UV printed colored wood.
That is beautiful.
Right? Isn't it gorgeous?
So
it's
this is pre-painted, pre-colored?
Right, pre-colored. It's only painted on one side. And this is what I'm going to use to make our sign. Okay, I'm going to use the red.
Now you could paint wood. You could spray paint it. You could paint it by hand.
Absolutely could.
You could paint it afterwards, but
this definitely saves some time.
It saves a bunch of time because it's already colored.
That's right. And what's really cool is we're going to cut and engrave on here. And when we engrave it, we've chosen power settings and speed settings that's going to engrave white.
What?
Yes, let's
wait a minute. That's not even possible. You're going to burn something? It's going to turn white?
Yep, let's take a look.
I challenge you. I don't even think that's possible.
So I put the wood in the machine.
All right.
And I'm going to go ahead and I can't see what you're saying. So go
Try
ahead
not to run over your feet.
That's okay. Close the lid.
Okay.
And then I'm still sharing. So can you switch?
Are you still sharing?
I'm still
You want me to share? Okay, let's go to share your screen.
Thank you.
And we're using the We Create software.
That's right. So we're in We Create software. So I just simply opened up my next file.
Okay.
And this is the one with the popsicle in it, right? And we're going to cut the red one. I've already pre-cut the others. So we're going to go ahead and cut the red one. And I want to show you how I did it because I want to show you how easy the software is to use.
So you're cutting the popsicle out, but you're only engraving the S part of it.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. And to do this, I went out and found on designbundles.net, I found a popsicle. This isn't the one I wanted.
Oh, cool.
Upload. I want to show the PNG because it's just showing the ability of the software.
But you could draw this yourself, or
You could. So
it's nice to have it pre-made.
Here is the PNG that I downloaded from designbundles.net.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and just size this down to 5 inches high. All right. So this is what it looks like.
Cool.
Okay. I already did it, and I have this one all ready to go, but I want to show you how I did it.
Okay.
Okay. So then I went under Edit Image, and I grabbed this crop tool, and I want to break these two items apart. And the reason I want to do that, I want to break the two colors apart because I want to cut the pink color on my red We Create Wood with color, and then the stick I've already cut on just regular basswood like we just did with the word hello.
Felicia, you're so clever, I want to cry sometimes.
Oh gosh. So I'm just going to crop. There. That's that easy, right? So I've just cropped it, and I'm going to confirm, and now the popsicle stick part of it is now gone. But this is still listed as a bitmap engraved image, and I really want it to just be a regular image that I can set to what I want it to be. Right now, all I can do is bitmap engrave, but I could, maybe I wanted to cut it, maybe I wanted to score it.
Mm-hmm.
So to change this, I'm going to go under contours and click on it again and just hit delete. So it got rid of the bitmap engrave and left me with the frame that now I can engrave, fill engrave, or cut.
Oh.
And I want to set that to cut. Okay. Then under text on the left, I'm simply going to click on that, and it gives me the word hello by default, and I'm going to change it to an S. Okay.
Now, how about fonts? Can you use any font on your computer?
You absolutely can. So I'm going to go under fonts, and I'm going to scroll down until I find one that I think I like for this project, which is the same one I've already used, and here it is. And I'm going to change that to fill engrave and change my power settings to 50 and my speed to 250.
Oh.
This is what I need to be able to do this project. Okay, and then you can size it down to what you want by clicking and dragging, or you can change the font size to what you want it to be. Okay, and then you can select both layers, and you go under Align, Horizontal Centering, and Align, Vertical Centering. Now that S is perfectly in the center of that popsicle top, and I'm ready to send it over to be cut. Okay,
all right.
So that's how I did it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then I've still got my material set at the same. The material setting here is wood, and this time, because I'm using the UV printed colored wood, I'm choosing to use the high density fiberboard and 3 millimeters.
I see.
Okay, so that's how I did this. I just wanted to point out how I did it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these two, and this is the one. The outer circle or the outer popsicle piece is set to cut, and I've kept the default settings.
Okay.
When
and the inner is set to engrave?
The inner part, the S, again, we're going to change the power to 50 and the speed to 250.
Now, how did you know what that speed and power were? You just got to try a bunch of different things, or you did that matrix thing?
You could do the matrix thing, or you could do trial and error, but we did the matrix thing and to determine what the speed and power were going to be.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click on refresh, because right now I'm looking at my white canvas. I'm going to click on refresh so I can actually see my colored wood in the machine.
We learned you can hide that background with a right
We
click.
did. You can right click
cool,
and hide the background.
Sometimes you don't want to see it.
Right. So here is my image, and I'm just going to move it down like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on autofocus.
All right.
And I don't know if you want to share the screen.
Sure. Jamila brought up a really important point. There's a big Amazon sale going on right now. I don't know when you're watching this, but right now there's that big spring Amazon sale. And she asked if we have Amazon links in England, and we do have Amazon links in the UK, and we'll put those in the description as well.
Gotcha.
We are Amazon influencers in the UK and the US.
We are.
Pretty cool, right?
That is very cool. All right. So it's
it's moving down. Look, it's moving down. That's so cool to me. It's just amazing.
Right. It's doing the autofocus piece now.
So the laser focuses on the material that it's about to cut, so it knows exactly how much oomph or power to give it for a very accurate cut.
And so now I'm just going to click, just like we did before, and click on start. You're going to share the screen. It's going to take about 3 minutes for it to do its magic. And if it works properly, we're going to have a white S.
What do you mean if it
on
works properly?
red wood, which will be our red
It's going to
popsicle.
be perfect. Let me see if I can come over here a little bit more
There we go.
and show the actual cutting and engraving here.
So
It's hard to see.
can you see it? Let me look over here.
I see the head moving.
Can you see it is engraving white? It's a little hard to see because
Yeah,
of the
I
light.
see
The lights
the
are right in
light
the
on
way.
here, yeah.
Yeah.
See if I can come in a little tighter. Yeah, it's hard to see with the blue lights reflecting in the background. But it is engraving white, which is amazing that you're engraving, you're actually burning the paint off of this thing. Alexa, turn laser 1 light off. What is it called?
Laser room.
Oh, it worked. Can you see that now? Oh, you can see it. Look.
Can you see the white?
Yeah.
I just think this is so cool.
Let me see here. There we go. Look at that. It's actually removing the top coat and exposing the second layer of this plywood, which is white.
How cool is that?
That is pretty cool. Imagine how much time you could save. This is actually reverse engraving.
Exactly. So, I mean, designing it in the software was super easy, and I showed you how I did it. Not rocket science stuff here with this particular project. And it takes roughly 3.5 minutes to engrave and cut each popsicle. The sticks took like 1.5 minutes, maybe, to cut all 6 sticks for the word summer. And it's just that easy. I just think this is so cool. So instead of having to use vinyl and cut vinyl on maybe my Cricut or my Silhouette or my Caesar, I'm able to skip the whole cutting of vinyl by using the UV coated wood and get the same type of effect without having to do that extra step.
That's pretty cool.
Right? Yeah. So 6 letters for roughly 3.5, 4 minutes a piece.
That's some serious time. If you're doing 100 of these for a craft show, it really adds up after a while. I didn't know I could do this. I thought when you engraved and you burned into something that it would automatically turn it black or brown.
That's right.
So that the fact that this is coming out white is just blowing my mind.
It is pretty cool, isn't it? You do have to each piece of colored wood is slightly different. So the settings for each one, each color I found.
Oh, the colors are different.
The color settings were slightly different.
So you have to do one of those matrices on each piece of colored wood.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
And where do you get this colored wood?
On WeCreate's website.
Okay.
And we'll put that link in the description when we're done here.
Does xTool offer colored wood as well? I think they do.
Does. Yeah, they do. We haven't looked into theirs yet. WeCreate was kind enough to send us this batch.
xTool also offers solid acrylics, and we told you that you can't cut clear or transparent acrylic with a diode laser. We can with a CO2 laser, which is one of the reasons we're looking into that. But you can cut and engrave opaque acrylic. And xTool and also Glowforge sells some really good compatible thin acrylic that you can do a lot of fun stuff with.
That's right.
I don't think WeCreate sells that acrylic yet, but I think it's on the drawing board.
It's on the drawing board. I did ask that question.
Oh, look, it's moving up now.
Okay, so what it's doing now is it's actually doing the cut process.
Oh, look at that. I don't know if we can see that at home on this angle, but so it knows what to do first. It knows to do the engraving first, because if it did the cutting first, the cutout would fall through. And it wouldn't be able to focus correctly.
It could fall through, yeah.
That's pretty bright. I mean, this is really some genius engineering. What do you think? What the who?
I forget.
I do that to women, you know. All right, so it's almost done. That's pretty quick.
It is pretty quick, right?
Considering all what's going on here, to really think about that, it's pretty amazing. If you were to do this manually, it would take forever.
It's just
Does this look cooler than vinyl? It's done.
Let's take a look.
All right, so she's lifting up. Let me zoom out here. I'm going to move this back and try not to hit your toes. And
Ready?
show us what happened.
All right, so I'm just going to lift the lid up.
Wow, look at that. Let's show it in the camera without showing your eyeball so it has nothing to focus on. Look at that. So there's actually some depth going on here, which you can't do with vinyl.
Let me
It's
wipe it
actually
off real quick.
engraved.
Just wipe it off. There you go.
Look at that. That is amazing. Look at that. Look how clear and bright that white is. That's amazing.
Right?
All right, so I want to pull back here and show us. You cut the rest of the letters. We don't want to make everyone suffer through that.
Right. It would just take
Let me
too
move
long.
back here, and you can assemble what you've made. This beautiful thing that you've made here.
Show you.
Are those popsicles? Did you say that and I missed it?
Yes.
This is Paint and Sip number 5. We're talking about laser engravers and cutters. And now's a good time to take a sip of your favorite beverage. Again, we don't care what it is. It could be warm milk
So we've
on
already
this chilly day.
we already cut our words out, our letters out on our popsicles, using our We Create UV color-coded wood. And I use just regular thin basswood to cut the sticks,
I'm coming up a little
just
bit.
like I cut the word hello.
Look at that.
And this piece of wood is just a wood I had purchased from Michael some time ago that I had laying around.
But you could cut your own background too, up to a certain size.
You absolutely could.
You
Yeah.
have size limit. Diode lasers tend to be a little bit smaller than some CO2 lasers.
Right.
And we're looking for something with a really big bed.
And then you have, I bought these, I got these on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description. These are Thule Art dual tip paint pens,
Oh, cool.
right? And if you wanted to, I'm torn over it, but you could paint the word hello white if you wanted to with your paint pen. And if you want to do that, I'll show you what that looks like.
Jamila says, I don't have a warm drink, just 2 cats using me as their hot water human. We have a puppy dog.
Is she in the UK?
I think she's in the UK, yeah. Yeah, it's like 10 o'clock over. What time is it in the UK? It's 5 o'clock Eastern time here in Florida. We're in Central Florida, not too far from Port Canaveral. We have another YouTube channel that specializes in reviewing cruise ships. So we decided to live about 30 minutes away from Port Canaveral, and we take a lot of our cruises right here. Very, very convenient for us to just jump up there and jump on a cruise ship. We've got a big cruise coming this summer in June. We're heading to Iceland
We are.
and Norway
Yeah.
and Belgium. So if y'all need anything, let us know. We're taking orders. And we're going to terminate in England. We're going to hang out in London and Southampton for a little while, and then go to Paris and fly home from Paris towards the end of June of this year. So very, very exciting. 2102. It is what? That's 12 minus 9:02. That's not bad. Only 9 o'clock out there.
That's not too bad.
Is my math right? Wait, 21 minus 9 is 12. Wait, 21 minus 12 is 9. Is that right? Do I even know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How many sips have I had?
I don't know. I think you
That's
might have
pretty
had too
cool. You're
many.
using a paint pen. It's actually
Can you see what
painting.
I'm
I
doing?
can. I see it turning white there. It's pretty cool. Let me
Yeah.
zoom in a little bit more.
These paint pens are awesome. I absolutely love them. And it makes doing this so easy.
That's pretty cool. A little
It's not-
easier than
it's
spray
not-
paint. Well, spray painting is probably easier, but then you have all the mess.
Right.
Would you say this is more fun than spray painting?
I think this is fun, but I like coloring too. So I'm just being very careful because of the frailness of the word in certain parts. So I'm just kind of holding it with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
You could also take a piece of blue painter's tape, put that down upside down, and put this on there to help hold it still.
Oh. Now, if you got that paint on your desk, would you be able to wipe it off?
Yeah.
It's water-based paint?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just press down, kind of like a,
You,
Like
you saw what I just did. You press
painting
down
marker.
to get
Yeah.
exactly to get some
Lets a
more
little
of the
more flow.
paint come down. Yep.
Okay, that's nice. I thought it looked good with just the wood, but the
I was-
white's really going to pop.
Well, I was tempted to just let it go, but I figured we'd just go ahead and show it.
Jamila says, don't hurt yourself working on that math. And she's right. I have challenges. She knows me. I think she knows me secretly.
That's funny.
Felicia is the brains of the
I
operation.
wouldn't go that far.
I'm just the muscle. I'm the guy that moves the camera around. I'm the producer. But you're really the brains of the whole crafting thing.
I don't know about that.
Some of the stuff
It's a
that you've
good
made
partnership.
with this laser, these laser engravers is unbelievable. And again, we are shopping. We have a company in town called Aeon Lasers. They make Aeon laser engravers and cutters, and they're actually in our hometown. And we're going to go visit them at the ISA, at the International Sign Association convention
That's right.
next month.
April.
Yeah, a couple of days in April. So we're going to go meet them in person. We're really excited to do that at that trade show. And we're going to shoot a bunch of footage there and put a couple of YouTube videos out and ask them the really hard questions about what do I need to look for if I'm buying a CO2 laser, which is the next level up from the diode laser. It's a little bit more professional. You can get bigger platforms and a lot more power to cut thicker things, and also clear acrylic, which is kind of important to us. We want to start making signs with lights behind them. And that's really our goal. And we're going to be selling those at local trade shows and online on Etsy. Look at you. Oh, let me move over here. Oh, look at you. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Look what Felicia has done. How adorbs is that?
Right?
Hello, Summer.
Now all you have to do is glue it down, but I forgot my glue upstairs. We didn't.
You don't have to glue it. I think
we
people
didn't
get
transition it all down.
people get
Is that pretty?
a gist of what's going on here. Now, We Create also makes patterned wood.
They do.
So
I
you
have
can do
some
this
of
with
that.
a patterned wood. Do you have any of that to show us?
I do.
They did send this to us to show to you. You don't have to show it all. Some are really cool. Look at this. And these are pre-painted UV. Are they UV safe? I think you could put them outside, couldn't you?
They are.
There it is. Look at those colors and those patterns. Unbelievable. And this saves you a tremendous amount of time because you can just cut these out as you did with your butterflies. Is that down here? I can't take that off, can I?
No, you can't take it off.
I'll zoom into it. But how cool is that?
Right?
We have all
Very
these
cool.
endless options here to go crazy and show all this very, very cool stuff. All right, so we made a couple of beautiful things using lasers. Should I pull my laser saber out again?
If you like to.
No, she's done with that. Amazing, right? This beautiful tumbler again we made using the xTool M1. And we will share the settings for these things in case you run into this like a year down the road and like, what settings can you use on a powder-coated tumbler for engraving using an xTool M1? Because that'll be around for a while, unless the M2 is in the pipeline, which we're not sure of.
Ooh.
So you can engrave whatever you want on this, but not just this. You can engrave on stainless steel.
Mm-hmm.
You can engrave on wood, obviously. Some people actually engrave denim, which is weird. And we tried that with some very, very tight things. It didn't come out real well. It wasn't great,
It didn't come
but
out
it
right.
is possible. It did
Right.
totally engrave that.
Right.
And then you made your beautiful Hello Summer sign. How cool is that? That is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. And you engraved in that wood,
That's right.
and the wood came out white.
Right.
And to me, that's just amazing.
Right. We had to do our matrices to figure out the settings for them.
And you can see on the back wall here a couple other things that you've made with these laser engravers, these little signs.
Yeah.
And to the, I think you're right there, you're seeing the butterflies, which you engraved cardstock with.
That's right. All those little butterflies in that frame are made of cardstock.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Just
you
like
can
we
do
showed
that.
the video.
So you can engrave all these very, very cool things. Now you can do glass too. I don't have the glass here we did. We had to do, as we showed in the video earlier, we did some finagling to get the glass done. But it can be done with a diode laser as well.
It absolutely can be done.
Yeah. Right, so I hope that you have learned some very cool things and witnessed Felicia's magic
Freshest magic. You did the
on
tumbler.
Make and Sit number 5, where we're talking about laser engravers and cutters. And these are amazing. These are my new favorite machines.
These are awesome machines.
We're really transitioning out of the vinyl cutting and moving over here because the dimensionality just really offers something magical
I don't
to
think
us.
I'll ever completely transition out of the others because I enjoy them. I think they're a lot of fun. And there's a lot of things still to learn and teach. But these are next level machines.
But again, this does have a blade in it. I can actually pull it out. Let's
It
see.
does. The M1 is the
It
only
has a
laser.
rotary blade.
It's the only laser tool that has a blade mechanism, so you can cut vinyl on this machine.
See this? It's a rotary blade. And this is used for cutting cardstock or vinyl. You really don't want to cut cardstock with a blade anymore after we saw what happened. You want to cut cardstock with a laser. But this blade will enable you to cut vinyl using the xTool M1. So they really thought of everything with
And
this.
it'll cut fabric as well.
It will.
And cardstock.
And again, did you know that the Cricut does not use the rotary attachment when it cuts vinyl? So this is going to be a much more accurate cut when you're cutting vinyl.
Right.
So they really thought of everything. It's really an amazing tool. And I'm popping it back in there. It's held in by a magnet. No tools necessary. How cool is that? If you have any questions in the future, hit us up. We'll be monitoring the comments. And we also have a whole bunch of videos using both of these machines, showing some of the really cool things we made.
We do.
Close that. It's very loud. With the air assist in there. We talk about the air assist, the risers, the machines themselves, their specifications, what they can do, what they can't do, and a bunch of projects that Felicia and I have made with these things.
Right. Did you want to show the room?
I guess so. Do you guys want to see the room?
It's a little tight.
All right. It is kind of tight. I'm going to try to wide out as much as I can. And there we are. We are there. So we have our light here, our ambit full light. Thank you to our friends at Ambitful for sending that to us. We needed a studio light for this room. And we have Felicia, who's available on Amazon. Can we buy you on Amazon?
No, but you can send us an email and I'll answer questions.
That's right. And then back here in the corner, we have on the right, the We Create Vision diode laser, 20 watts.
That's right.
Plenty of power to do just about everything you needed to do. Well, up to 3 millimeters.
Right.
We have the xTool M1, which is a groundbreaking device. And this is our door. Where does that door go? Go ahead and open that.
It goes outside. This is where we have our vent.
Yeah, we actually ventilated through that wall. Our friends at American Veterans Contracting ventilated, put a fan on that wall, and it blows all the smoke out that door. Because we live in a community that has a homeowners association, and we're not allowed to change anything in the roof.
So we have the vent in this wall here that vents outside. It's a nice, powerful vent.
We have both of them vented through there.
That's right.
We actually made that box with a, what was it?
A frame.
It's like a shadow box.
A shadow box.
Did we bought it Michael's?
Michael's.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we cut a couple holes using the laser cutters to actually make the holes in there for that to work. And then there's a giant window here, which provides all kinds of annoying light at the worst time. And a little table with my glass. So go ahead and let's take a sip.
I have to
This is Make and Sip number 5. Do we have any idea what next week's Make and Sip is going to be yet?
We haven't
figured that out yet.
We'll figure something
But
out.
let us know in the comments if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see Felicia and I make on Make and Sip number 6 next week. It's every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 UK time, 1 o'clock
I'm not getting involved.
Pacific. There's math. I don't like math. And we'll make something for, we're probably going to go back upstairs to Felicia's craft room next week. I don't know if our air conditioning will be in here. Not here. I think it's kind of hot in Florida very quickly today.
Maybe we could do a tour of the craft. Not to interrupt you, but maybe we could do a tour.
Oh, you're
of the craft
redoing your craft room again.
I'm redoing every drawer now that
Now,
all this.
you moved all the lasers out.
Yeah, so we're in the midst of that now.
We'll do a quick tour of the craft room, and then we'll do something else next week. Sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen, thank you again for joining us on Make and Sip number 5. You guys are rock stars. Jamila, we love you. Blacka family checking in. Who else? Evans is here.
Jamila.
Kay Wood.
Kay Wood. Jamila.
So yeah, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you all next week for Make and Sip number 6. Love you.
Bye, Felicia.
I knew she was going to say it. She's always coming up. Somehow that always just happens.
The Fresh and Felicia Show.